All right, today's video, we are in Dynasty Shipyard, and it is a nature mutation. Right here, you'll see the green circle that will pop up every so often with the meter being in the top left. And what that will do is add weaken to every player in the game. If you don't touch inside of the circle and then get back out, you will have weaken for about 25 or 30 seconds. So make sure you do get inside the green circle. If you have the green circle, share it with everybody. You can tell when they've been unaffected by the weaken because they won't have the glowing chest. So pay attention to that. I have another Great Axe player playing in this lobby. It's a public lobby and we do a lot of the same things at the same time, so he obviously knows what he's doing, like me, baby. Just kidding, but he was a good player and I wish I could have communicated with them. And oh, to the down piece, baby. Wish I could have communicated with them. If you have two people with great axes, you kind of want to be on the same accord. So I usually default and say, okay, you do all the abilities first, I will follow up secondarily. So he would throw traditionally the grab well on the crawlers that you just saw so they don't leap. And then I would follow up if things got kind of out of hand and need to regroup them. That way I would play support to the great axe. Right here, you got to watch out for the swings with this guy. Whoa, right there, because they will one tap you if you're 50 con or less. Like right there, if I was 15 con, I'm 50 con right here. But if I was 15, I probably would have been dead right there. Or if the mutation would have been with dots on your back from dodging, I definitely would have been dead right there. So it's important for the tank to have a hammer to try to keep the guy on his back. Also for the spear guys to try to time out the sweeps along with what the tank's doing with his slam. It's a lot going on, but you know, at the tippy top levels, that's what you need to do. Or have two hammers there. That's really the best option. And I ran this one earlier in the day, and that's what I did for this whole part. But I wanted to leave it all up to the tank. We had a really good tank, and I just met him earlier in the day, and so I said, hey man, let's run some. So we ended up running about 3 or 4 lobbies, and they were all good to go, all gold. And this was one of the ones I recorded that was a good one, so thought I'd share with y'all. And now you will notice I do ping the wrong enemy right here. I'm supposed to ping the archer or the musket guy because that's who you want to take out first as DPS. Not necessarily the dog, but if he wants to get it some too, he can F around and find out, brown play. But what you want to do as tank is don't bring the mob. Because if you see DPS isolated on an enemy, that's usually fine, especially if it was a musky guy and then one dog. As a tank, you don't have to have aggro on everything at all times. The DPS should know once the musky guy is gone, if I have aggro on the dog, I will bring that dog to the tank and to the mob. But if you're tank and you try to aggro the mob and bring to the guy I'm isolated on, I can't see behind me a lot of times, and that will happen just as it happened. Another instance would be if you're familiar with barnacles. At the toward the very beginning, you got the first lightning mage. Well, if the tank goes aggro's the mobs to the mage, all those mobs are swinging, and when you got a bunch of low con DPS, boom, you can be taken out real fast. So I ping that dog up there so we don't forget about him. Sometimes one guy can go run up there and start doing the orichalcum and then meet everybody back here so we can get the flow and the speed of things moving along. Right here, the musket guys isolated. It's who the DPS should be taking out first, but we did a really good job bringing them into the group with the great axe. And here we go, we'll swing away. I see I got aggro right there on 2, especially the big guy. I'm gonna get away, let him come to the tank. I still have aggro on him. He hits hard as hell, so I'm gonna wait it out. I gotta find my spot where I wanna be at and start swinging away and stay behind that big dude that does those heavy attacks. I believe he's the spear guy, and when he does the spin, it will usually knock you to the ground. So once I see he's about halfway health, what I'll do is go to the barrels, get this going, and then I'll head to the other barrels and get that going. We had really good DPS, so I could have left a little bit sooner. And that way we can get this gate open. Now typically I would like to have these 2 orichalcums already done, because I don't like the tank and the healer running up to the next group with only 1 DPS. A lot of times it kind of goes wrong. So if you can have all this done and everybody enter at the same time, I feel like it's a lot better, but you know, things happen. Now with that dragon doing the spins right there, you can roll underneath as DPS and go start doing melee. I might do it here in a second. I'm not sure if I remember if I did it on this one or not. But if you do stay in double dodge like that, just time it out, because the initial snap of the dragon is what does the damage. Once you get through that by double dodging, you're good. If you back out of the dragon circle, you can always roll under and start DPSing. All this aggro, I'm like, Jesus, help me, Tom Cruise. Get me out of there, bruh. Where to take it? But it's just about, you know, guiding them around, kiting them, as they say. You know, you don't always need to be swinging and then blaming the tank because you got aggro. I mean, it's gonna happen. You know, big boys gotta learn how to deal with it. So here we are. Got aggro on that guy. Get out of the way. Try to drag him back to the tank. Perfect. And DPS away. He's low health. Take him out. Look at them numbers. Nice. This next part coming up, there's a few different ways.
Ooh, piece of candy.
There's a few different ways that you can do it. How my group used to do it was a tank would take the big guy and the DPS would take the 2 mages. In a public group, I always think it's best if you, as the tank, take the big guy and 1 of the mage and let the DPS handle 1 at a time. If you do get stuck in nature like that and you see a dragon's about to blow the breath, you need to dodge so you can at least miss the attack. But I always think it's best like this. The spear guys did an excellent job of timing out their sweeps. We kept this lady on the ground quite often. And then if I did get aggro, you gotta block, you know, right here. Block. Okay, no big deal. Go in a defensive stance so I have my shield in front of me. Alright, 1 down. Now they got reaped. I was kind of jealous because I wanted to reap too, so I reaped. And we all got out of there. Luckily, none of us got knocked. 13K, baby. 14K, baby. I think I only had 115K today in here, and I think that was on my first run. Ooh, nice. See, I noticed I recognized I had aggro by the health bar turning bright red. She was about to do the dragon, so instead of swinging, dodge. My greatsword does a great stamina damage right here. Oh, can't spin through you. I gotta walk around. And this is all just about DPS, you know, getting Oblivion down and getting consistent damage over and over. He is a little weird that he backs up, he sidesteps, he does a little weird stuff, so it's a little awkward fight, but it's easy nonetheless. This next part coming up. All right, let me get comfortable because I'm going to try to explain this here. Hold on. All right, this next part. You could go forward right there and take out the mobs going all the way too, but the fastest way to do it is the way we're going to do it here. It's just to go and get up on the bags, light up the barrel. That will bring all the mobs to you. Now, it is the highest risk, but it is a way to get all the enemies to come to you quick, so you don't have to individually fight this group of 2 or 3, then this group of 2, and that you bring them all to you, let them kill the barrels so the guys who spawn will despawn, and the ones that are the main ones there you can go ahead and take out. Now find your spot here. I usually get on the backside here, but I know the tank's gonna have a hard time trying to keep aggro on everything, and I knew right here it was over. Look at all the aggro, bruh. Just too much stuff, and I was in the back with nowhere to go. And all the healing circles that the enemies are dropping on the ground, you need to be running some sort of anti-heal, whether it be the hatchet with infected throw, your blunderbuss with the plague splitting grenade, your puke heart rune. Every DPS should be running and timing that out. Or if you're running a great sword and you have, you know, plague strikes, you know, something to help, because I don't feel like we had enough puke as the heart runes. I don't feel like we had enough anti-heal at all during this run. So make sure anytime it's a dungeon where they're vampiric or they drop healing circles that you're running that. All right, here's what we want to do here is hold all the enemies out here. Now there is one that spawns to the back toward the east, but someone needs to aggro that, get him from, you know, stop him from hitting the barrels, and then they bring them to the group. Now the healer's helping me out because I'm trying to help the healer out. He knows I'm getting the musket guy, so he's looking out for me by throwing me a little heal here and there. I appreciate that. Good job here, Melton. Man, I ended up getting a Biss hammer drop for me yesterday out of Tempest. It's thwarting strikes, refreshing move, and sundering clear out. So that's what I'm using right now. Now he will come back, so there's no need to chase. All right, and he came back outside of the healing aura. Let's go. All right, last circle, or the last group of enemies. Here on the first barrel, a lot of times you'll see the tank message, everybody, I'm gonna taunt, go ahead and start running. And once he taunts, make sure all the enemies are focused on him. You know, everybody can run to the next barrel. That way you don't waste time sitting here swinging and get knocked, or you don't need to fight this fight, because once the barrel times out, it'll blow up and you're already at the next barrel ready to go. So there's no need to fight this last group of mobs. If you're worried about mob count, you're running the dungeons wrong at M3 level, to be honest. You shouldn't be worried about mob count. If you run it quickly enough and properly, then it doesn't matter, because your time's going to be good, and if you don't have too many downs, you're going to be golden. And you should get enough mobs just going through regular anyways. I think at the end of this video somebody was pulling extra mobs for the hell of it, but it's extra fun for me, I guess. It doesn't matter. If you notice at the bottom right, since I wasn't in the green circle, I have the weaken symbol. So I will be doing a lot less damage. I came back to check because I saw someone ping. I guess I thought they were pinging the gatherable, but it was gathered. Someone pinged over here, so I guess they want this guy dead, so figured I'd take it upon myself. It'll be a lot easier with a spear, because you can really move and time down the sweeps a lot easier. Ooh, that guy hits. I'm like, hit me! I don't know why that guy's over there sweeping already, but you want to try to group these guys outside of and away from that barrel. So that's why you saw me do the skyward and then the rupture to bring them away. Be careful though, because you will get aggro a lot of times in this area, because it's very hard for the tank to keep it on all these different enemies. Look at this guy just camping back here. Oh, that guy spawned underneath. Oh, he vined right then when I was trying to rupture, so that didn't work as planned. Alright, get away. Healer does a great job of putting down Oblivion a lot, so props to the healer on that. All right, boss time, baby. I do have a separate set here with Void. That will help with the dog's breath, but usually it's a one shot anyways, regardless. Now, if you're a tank and you want to go full beast mode, you need to put on infused beast coating before entering, and or when it becomes time where you got to hold both the dogs. And you can also, as DPS, if you want to do extra DPS, you can apply beast coatings to your weapons when the two dogs come out. But I would just leave it how you have it, so that way you're not wasting extra money. But we're gonna end up, tank's gonna take in one dog, and the DPS and healer are gonna say, I'm so glad I didn't get wiped right there. I was like, oh, res into the death, but no, I got lucky. And I just like can't swing from there. I'm just shaking my head like, what the hell am I doing? Great sword on this chick is tricky, man, because it's a slow attack and she moves quick. Much prefer spear on this chick. Oh, tank's tanking right there. It's interesting place. Come on, bring her out. So there's a couple ways to do this. Sometimes you can have an off tank, and sometimes I think majority of lobbies right now are running it this way, where 3 DPS are at the dog on the right with the healer trying to hold aggro and keep aggro. You should have a good enough amount of damage to put down the dog. Also pay attention to when you need to dodge. Come back here. Oh jeez. Keep missing. It's one thing about the greatsword, it's slow. It does some good damage, but damn. I'm like, do I res or do I keep swinging? Do I res? I just want to watch him run for his life, but he takes him to the tank. He knows we're about to finish him soon, so tank was good with it. He's a beast. Watch out. Eventually I'm gonna hit this damn thing. Need to look up more than what I'm looking to get better consistency of the swings. If your aim point is a little bit low, a lot of times you will miss. Make sure you switch back to your main dungeon gear. Now these guys can be pulled, so wait a minute. Let's see what the tank wants to do. He wants to go up here. DPS should focus the archer up top first. Well, I say archer, but the musket guy. And then you can kill the guy at the bottom. All right, so the mage will be pulled here. Don't go get the orichalcum and that stuff to the right yet, because if you pull those stretchy guys over here while we're sitting here fighting this mage, it's so annoying. I think the first run I was on, the guy did that thinking he was going to be sneak. Now you can sneak past him and not aggro him, but he did not. And then he also pulled the guys on the bridge, so it was a nightmare, as you can imagine. Gotta be careful with this guy's attacks because they hurt. Nice melt. Great job of keeping them pinned down by the tank and the spear guys. Now, here we go. The tank just went ahead and went straight, which I would always recommend. Wait for us to get the gatherables, because most DPS you're going to run this with are going to get the gatherables. So if you can sneak by him, just crouch, sneak by him, grab this, and crouch away for a second, and then get your butt up and go. And that way you don't aggro those two guys. You don't need to fight those two. And right here, you kind of need to go directly down the middle so you don't aggro the mob on the right up the stairs or the left. If you aggro the left, you could pull the mage. That guy did the right because, I mean, there's always one in the group, right? It's all right. We're going to handle our business. They're all grouped up really nice. It's getting a little messy here. We're all doing a good job of keeping damage consistently going down. Trying to stay behind him because he keeps moving. Nice. Now the tank says gather, which we have enough points. We don't need to gather, but a couple of DPS went down there, so I was a little concerned. Wanted to make sure that they're somewhat, you know, doing the right things here. So that got pulled, D guy, and so I just want to make sure the orichalcum was got. And now it's time for the boss fight. Make sure you switch to your void gear. All her attacks are void attacks, and it will help you tremendously getting a separate set that's full of void. Here's a rundown of my gear real quick, because since I didn't do it at the beginning of the video, I thought I had my record on, but I didn't. So I didn't see the first mob pull. I was thinking about going with the hammer to add the armor breaker, 30-something% rend for 10 seconds, but I decided not to, because when the mobs spawn, I like to be able to gather them up with the great axe. Thank you for that health loss. Start off with the Maelstrom to weaken. Eggnog, watch out, bruh. Oh, I missed my dodge there. On this, you gotta watch out, because if you're behind her, it will hit you. There's like a 3 or 4 foot back. How would I say it? Backward hit on that, so you need to dodge. Try to dodge that. Get ready to double dodge. Oof, watch out for that hit, because it will knock you. Once again, this will hit you from behind, so watch out. At this point, she's gonna summon the mobs, try to pull them together. Always take out this mage first. Now, I thought I was safe from the dragon's breath right there, but a little bit too far to the right. Best just to get the hell out of dodge and, you know, get fully away, but sometimes you get sloppy. Gonna try to gather them up here, waiting for my gravity well to cool down. Well, I'm away this time. I learned my lesson. Those spearmen are scary if they get aggro on you, because they do hit. Oh, that spin move is dangerous. I was playing really cautious right there on that second wave. Now on this, you want to stay right here and put DPS down on her. You don't need to go sit in the corner. Now on that third totem throw or totem pole she throws, get out, get to the back. Tank should be at the back left, to my left. He is. And now we start DPSing. Eggnog. It's a hard move for the tank to dodge too. It's tricky. It's like you have to dodge it before she throws it, but it's a little tricky. Get ready to double dodge. If you are outside the circle, just after it starts going, roll back underneath, start DPSing. Unless you just want to watch the pretty dragon spin around. Some more eggnog. Gotta keep an eye on them totems, especially if you're ranged, because she's going to be targeting you. That's her ranged attack. Almost got hit by that. Uh-oh, move. Oh. Sometimes she'll move her whole body almost like a 180 and do the melee. It's best just to dive straight forward through it, so then you're on her back. I wish we had some Oblivion down this whole time. Would have been a lot quicker. But hey, 29:59, almost 30 minutes, baby. And that's how it's done, you know. So this was a good tank, good group, good heals, good DPS. We put it together, didn't have any wipes, got all the gatherables, named enemies, mobs, and we were good to go. Decent score, decent time, fun run. So good groups are out there, guys and ladies. So if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.